Hi kids, welcome to Storytime. I'm Bubs, where we will read the best of the worst fan fiction. Today we will be reading Spongebob Squareballs by Elfwreck. SpongeBob was leaving this Krusty Krab just as Mr. Krab evicted a couple of fish. And if I ever see you filthy pervert fins in my restaurant again, I'll, Mr. Krabs continued to shake his claw at them as they walked away. He yelled at their backs, "I'll call your mothers, that's what I'll do." With a satisfied nod of his head, Mr. Krabs scuttled around to the dumpster where SpongeBob was meeting Patrick, who was sleeping curled up against the side of the big green box. Mr. Krabs threw a packet of papers into the dumpster. "What's that, Mr. Krabs?" asked SpongeBob brightly. "Oh, nothing to worry your little head about, SpongeBob. Just some dirty rags those perverts had. A regular pair of amphibians, they are." "What a pervert, Mr. Krab?" SpongeBob asked. But Mr. Krabs had already gone back inside. Patrick woke up. "What's a pervert, SpongeBob?" "I don't know, but they had some dirty rags, and Mr. Krabs told me to never waste dirty rags because you could always take them back home and use them again." "Then why throw them out? I suppose he saw us here and meant us to have them. I guess we better get them then." "I guess so, Patrick." So SpongeBob climbed into the dumpster and fetched the stack of papers Mr. Krabs had thrown away. These didn't look like Krusty Krab's normal dirty rags, which were soft, or at least slimy, and had Krabby Patty grease and floor mudge on them. Instead, these were magazines with lots and lots of pictures. Patrick grabbed one of them and waved it around. "Young Love, the official magazine of the undersea fish fry love affairs," it was called. A small notice on the bottom corner of the cover said, "For distribution only to UFFLA members and their special friends." "I don't think you can dry dishes with these, SpongeBob." SpongeBob flipped open one of the magazines. "Here," he said. "These two," he paused, tilting the magazines to the left, then right, and finally turning the page upside down. "Squid, these two squid are taking a shower, and there's a rag involved. Maybe there's a dirty rag that tells us how to use these other dirty rags." Patrick glanced over SpongeBob's shoulder and scratched his head. "Do you think we could do that in the shower? It looks awfully complicated." SpongeBob agreed, and they decided to study the pictures, and they got into this pineapple. Later, SpongeBob and Patrick, after the magazine recommended game of naked twisters, right fin green, dorsal tentacle red, move on to SpongeBob's bed for what the magazine assured them was going to be a delightful evening of fun and games. Patrick asked him if these games had cards. SpongeBob didn't think so, although Patrick showed some little square playing pieces arranged on a table, along with a wine bottle and look what looks like a tube of toothpaste. They pinned a couple of the pages up on the walls for easy reference and arranged them like the picture showed. Patrick, as the younger partner, was lying sprawled on the bed. SpongeBob knelt between his lower legs, stroking the length of Patrick's sixth arm, the one that was usually folded inside. With one hand, SpongeBob's other hand was rubbing oil into Patrick's nether orifice, or one of them. Starfish have made many small, slippery holes, and SpongeBob picked the one that matched the closest to the location of the one in the pictures, which involved an octopus and a young fish. Not a sponge and a starfish. Patrick moaned, "Oh, SpongeBob, that feels good. Like tickling, or only better." SpongeBob felt his balls harden, their corners filling and sharpening as Patrick quivered under his hands. "I think this is a lot better than tickling." As Patrick's cock thickened and twitched and started to ooze white pearly drops at the tip, SpongeBob checked the pictures again. "It says I'm supposed to push inside you now," he said. "But your fingers are already inside me," said Patrick. I'm supposed to use something other than my fingers?" SpongeBob pulled his hands out of Patrick's hole and rubbed some lotion on his own cock. Patrick raised his head to watch. "Not fingers? Are you going to put toes in me?" he asked, sounding a bit confused. Not that would be silly. I'm going to put my cock in you, just like the picture shows." SpongeBob released appendage to point at one of the pictures on the wall. Okay then, SpongeBob pushed Patrick's lower arm apart and lined up to the head of his erection where the hoe he'd be caressing. He pushed him gently, and Patrick shuddered. In moments, he was buried in Patrick's heat, and his hard, square balls were flushed against Patrick's skin for a moment. They held each other, and then Patrick started to move beneath him. SpongeBob thrust into his best friend over and over again while Patrick moaned and flailed. Eventually, SpongeBob grabbed his upper arms and held them to the bed in order to avoid another black eye. SpongeBob, Patrick gasped. Yes, SpongeBob was also short of breath. These games were certainly a good workout. I feel something. Patrick shook all over, throwing back his head and groaning as his throbbing member pulsed between the two of them, spewing white goo all over his stomach into SpongeBob's many pores. The thrashing wasn't enough to send SpongeBob over the edge. He thrust once more, and then he held it still as he emptied himself into Patrick's whatever the hole was. SpongeBob collapsed on top of Patrick. They took a deep breath, shuddered breath as it rested. After a while, Patrick said, SpongeBob? Yes, Patrick? That was a lot of fun and tickling fights. Yeah. SpongeBob rolled over to lie next to Patrick, pulled out a pack of cigarettes, and started smoking. That's what the picture showed happening next. He blew smoke squares. Maybe I should just show Squidward how to play these games. He needs a little bit more fun. Thanks for watching Storytime with Bubs. Stick next time. Be another great fan fiction for you guys. Thanks for watching Storytime. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content. Also, feel free to comment below. Check us out on social media. And have a great day. Thanks.